viewers, and welcome to more Thrustmaster T300 RS GT action. So here we are then, we can see using the T300 RS GT edition on a bit of Gran Turismo appropriately. I felt it should be tested on a Gran Turismo game, and sadly it was obviously aimed for launch to come out with Gran Turismo Sport this year, and sadly the game hasn't made it. So I thought, well, let's test it with a bit of GT6. And to make it a bit different, and rather than just drive GT6, I thought, why not try it on PlayStation VR? Of course, it's not proper VR. It's using the big screen option. It's still nice to try out. In actual fact, you know, it's impressive just how these games actually look when they're full scale. You know, because when you go into PSVR, everything is massive. And everything here looks really cool. The only bit of advice I would give is that it's better to drive from the bumper cam, because I'd forgotten how much the frame rate actually dropped when using the cockpit cam. When you're using VR, you do find that if the frame rate's not good, it does affect you. You know, you feel a bit rough after a while. And even with this, it's not a proper VR, but the screen in front of you is so massive. You know, you can see me moving my head there. You actually turn around and look around. It's absolutely vast. It just gives you that nice sense of scale. And essentially, as I make a mistake there, a bit of scale as you know, sort of try to imagine what it's going to be like when we eventually one day have VR running on Gran Turismo. Don't really know what the score is there, as I changed that cockpit cam just to see what it's like. You know, we'll have to wait and see. Sony have been a little bit coy in terms of what features are going to be available for PS4 and or PS4 Pro in terms of the VR. The more we hear about GT Sport at the moment, I think the more we're just a bit disappointed with it, given all the years and resource in development. But either way, I'm sure when it comes out, it will be one of the best racing games on the PS4. But for how long? You know, with rivals coming up on the market, it's certainly good to see that. So, racing with the T300 here, you know, when you're in VR, you lose yourself completely in the actual gameplay. You forget about the sort of controls, as long as they're intuitive. And I think the one thing about the T300 wheel is that it's a really good wheel for the price, and it's very intuitive to use, and all round, you know, I've enjoyed using it. You know, the fact that I can plug in and play game, you know, every game I've tested on it, I've just plugged in and played, and it's played, and I've not even needed to tune the wheel to find a better balance. It's a really well balanced wheel for all the different titles. In a way, it kind of reminds me, harks back to the G25. I mean, the G25 was like that. Some wheels you'd have to tinker with for hours, but the G25, you just plug it in and it would just feel great from the get-go. You know, there was something simplistic yet wonderful about that. Yes, you can refine the wheel in terms of your rotation and force feedback, and you'll need to on a few games, especially in terms of force feedback on any wheel. But the fact is that it really sort of works intuitively, and if you've not played a racing game with a steering wheel, it makes a huge difference to the experience. You know, there is no going back once you get used to running these games with a wheel. It's a vast difference. So, coming round, final few corners on this. I've enjoyed it, getting back to it, looking forward to the new Gran Turismo eventually one day. Let's hope they really make it special. Wheel has been great, PlayStation VR, love it, just needs more racing games. But the potential was certainly there. But that's it from me for now. As ever, more soon.